Tutti nello jungle de graffiti. Questaway, Impostore, Rockstar. It's the fake Rockstar chat show, Pensieri Tangentiali, formerly known as Tangential Thoughts Chat Show. We're going to be working on a podcast soon. Sono to a capo, io sono Chief Gihareh Julius Caesar Augustus. Alright, that looks pretty well. I just hold this up. Okay, so there was it was just a random post. It was a random post, and I seen it on the wonderful world of Instagram, and it had this short clip of a woman in a bar. It had a short clip of a woman in a bar. And so I like what she was saying or whatever. So then I go, that was just the other day. And then it pops back up. Well, I don't think it popped back up or something similar. However, something just reminded me, like, let me go ahead and look for it again. So uh, this time I looked on, I don't know if I Googled it or what, I forget whatever I did, but then the show came out in 1997. The show came out in 1997. Okay. And apparently it only has 6 episodes. So I might just watch them all. I was okay with the first one. I was okay with the first one. So uh, there's a couple of things, like when something ages well, right? When something ages well. Now, uh, again, there are certain cartoons and shows, and they just don't get the funding, the green light to just have full creative control to do exactly what they want to do, right? Now, I want to say that to also say that this cartoon is not, you know, it's not for, I wouldn't, it's not for kids, right? This is not a cartoon for kids. So, uh, I remember I seen the one post. I like what she was saying and how it looked. And then I'm trying to see. It's like, is there more of it? What's the vibe for it? So it's called Spicy City, right? It's called Spicy City. So it's on YouTube, right? And so there are like, there's only 6 episodes. So it's really kind of random, or is this and the third? And so I'm like, it's only 6 episodes. So they didn't get to, like, of course, it doesn't, like, Bebop is a show that just, like, it doesn't get all the funding, this and that third, gets canceled. Bebop is one. Or just, like, you find a certain show and it's like, bro, it's a good show. Why doesn't it, like, keep going, this and the third? So, uh, so I was like, my little bit of research, it came out in 1997. And then, no, it's nothing too crazy. It's nothing too crazy. But it does age well. It was a couple things. So it's like, now, Bebop, no. Yeah. Bebop came out in 98, 99. And so there are 2 episodes that I feel like on Bebop aged well. One is one where it shows, there's like watching a video and Faye is vlogging, right? So vlogging and streaming is something that's huge now, but that was a show that was 20 years prior to, mind you, YouTube didn't come out until like 2003, 2004. So that was when they showed like her vlogging, that episode aged well, like of even how she vlogged and different stuff like that. That was one, right? The other episode is, well, the other session on Cowboy Bebop that aged well was session 20, I think 3, and where they put the little whatchamacallits on, like they put this thing on as a headset, and then but it was a game, and I was like, like in 2020, whatever, that's like the Oculus, right? You put the little headset on and you got a little VR set. But that was a show in 98, and it was like that, right? Now, this show is in 97. This is the first episode, right? Now, it also makes me think about a couple other things. On Black Mirror, on Black Mirror, uh, see. On Black Mirror, they have it's a couple episodes on Black Mirror. It's a couple. Um, there's one that is particularly I don't know how you explain this. But okay, there's an episode on Black Mirror where it's like the people are in this virtual thing or whatever. Oh, and it's like before you like could pass away or whatever, like basically the setup of the episode was basically like it was like two people and they were basically trying to figure out like what setting they should try to be in. Like basically you could download into the computer and then like you would no longer be living. So you would no longer be living, but like physically, but you would be living forever and digitally in like this little thing or whatever, right? And so a couple things about that. There's so much in that, right? So it was because basically the way they were trying to set it up was like you basically kind of like get to test it out and like before you make the decision to say, you know what, yeah, I'm just gonna stop doing the whole physical thing and I'm just gonna be digital, right? And so basically like you get to test out different scenarios, see how you like it and stuff. Basically, like you making your heaven. So it's like if this is gonna be your heaven, this gonna be your afterlife, and you just whatchamacallit, you just download, you just be digital for the rest of your whatever, and you're done, right? And so they was basically trying to figure that out. Now that leads to a whole bunch of concepts. Now, this episode one, is called Love is a Download. So the girl, she like I'm paying attention, but not kind of paying attention. So I was also like, I was trying to like edit some other stuff. So she's at the bar or whatever, and she was like, she a woman like her trying to find a man, like she won't be single for too long, this and the third, and she like I would actually like her first little like monologue is the actual thing because she was talking about like uh man can't love a woman this and the third or whatever, and she was like if only like the computer or like could love her a certain way or whatever. She has this monologue which actually made me watch it, but during the time that part was on, I was like trying to edit some other stuff. So, but outside of that, that was like the first part. So what did she do? Again, this came out in '97. It came out in '97. This also makes me think about if you ever watched like PBS Kids and they had the motherboard, that whatever that show is, that motherboard show, whatever Cyber Kids. Like so, it also kind of remind me of that. But so it's a couple things that this remind me of, but so that Cyber Kids show, the Black Mirror episode, and yeah, the Cyber Kids show and the Black Mirror episode. All right, now this show came out in '97 now, which is before all this other stuff. So when she talked about all this love and this, not the third, boom, boom, boom. So she walks to this back room, she sits down, and the guy, okay, there's a show called Altered Carbon on Netflix where they like put the headset on and they like jack in, right? To the like, it's not a metaverse. They don't call it the metaverse. They call it whatever they want. So that's what she does, right? So she puts this headset on and she like, all right, this and the third, right? And so they move into another story. They move into this entire other story, right? So it's like there's things in concept within this if you think about like how the metaverse is going to kind of sort of be set up, right? So the people when they whatever you want to call, I forget, like I should pay like a little more attention to it, but whatever they call it, they put the little headset on and they jack in and like they have an avatar, right? So you gotta so you gotta understand like this is an actual thing, like, and it's not too far fetched. Like people used to do it. Like when I was a kid, there was this one thing, I don't even remember what it was, but you could make that this little avatar thing, and you could like I don't know, I really don't remember this game, but I do remember that you could make this little avatar, and it was like a little chibi. It was like little small person, and you could like meet other people from around the world, and they would have like their little avatar. So like that used to be a thing. So and then so you gotta think about like in the metaverse, right? Let me just put this up here. Oh my goodness, bro! It says ketchup, fridge or pantry. What? I'm not doing that. What? I don't know if they use ketchup. I'm gonna just say spicy. It's hard to, not hard, but spicy city. Episode EP. I'm trying to type with this thumb or finger. Okay, here. All right. Now, so the whole little lady in the bar, this and that third, it actually cuts to like what the show is going to be about, right? So, in the show, the lady like Jackson or whatever, like so it starts off, so the animation switches a little bit. And it's like there's like you see that the people and their avatars and stuff. So mind you, you gotta understand like this whole little digital world, like of course you can probably just like go over here, go over there, do different stuff, right? You can just like and like you can just move around easily, like it's all digital and stuff, right? So like conflict, right? Conflict. So the one lady, she's digital, it's like this little lady or whatever, and then let me try to. It's like this Asian. It's like this Asian little lady type of figure, and she starts talking to like this boxer guy. So, but mind you, it's his avatar. So it's like this boxer guy. Avatar is like just picture like an actual boxer in the ring. So shirt off, like boxing gloves, like so that's his avatar. His avatar is like this boxing guy. Her avatar is like this little Asian lady, right? Like actual, but like when I say Asian, like you got like Asian in some like if it was a doll and got the kimono and this and the third one, right? That's her avatar. So them both of them meet up, and when they meet up, there was like there's like these other little like interactions, but it'd be like ding, ding. So you gotta think about like having like glasses or being in the metaverse and you see somebody and like maybe their stats pop up or something like so like there's little things like that happening, right? But like they trying to figure out they had got some type of connection. So they was like, let's move this to a different room. So they digitally, and then they go to a different room, right? And so whatever the room is, like the guy kind of looked for like, I don't know, not like a digital hotel almost basically, right? So they moved to a separate setting. And so in the separate setting, he started talking to her and she like, oh my goodness. Like, so she's like, I ain't never had somebody talk to me like this and da da da. Remember, if you can make her laugh and giggle, you can make that laugh and jiggle. All right. So they talking and this and the third. So then she hears like it's like a knock. Yo, I think her name might be Ellis or something. Like, yo, this and the third, you in there, this and the third. So, but that's in the real world. So she's like, oh no, I gotta go. So she leaves. She leaves. Comes back to the real world. Now in the real world, she's not Asian, but like the base off like if you see like it's a cartoon, but it's still like it's not for kids, but it's still like on some like she would be an attractive woman, right? She got her body, this and the third, woo, woo, woo. And so the dude come in knocking on the door like, yo, this, da, 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 woo, woo, woo. And so like they go back and forth. And so this is where the conflict comes in at. So before she left the dude in the digital world, he was like, we can actually meet in person. He was like, it's kind of dangerous, but it's called a brain scan. And so she was like, yo, how do you do it? He's like, I probably shouldn't be telling you, but it's called a brain scan, this and that, third, da, da, da. But they split. Now, back in the real world, like, so she jacks out and so she talking to the guy, but basically, and it's like, it's one of them, bro, it's actually like, I'm trying to, when she say that okay, a woman might can say that all a man want is her body, but it was literally that though. Like, so that was kind of like, it was like, oh man, like he really, Again, things I'm thinking about, like if you ever seen Kill Bill Volume 2 and the beginning of that is real and like, she just be sleep and then she don't know Buck and he like the yeah. So he come up to her, he like, yeah, he give her something, and then she just on some like she was like, I don't need this, I don't want this, da da da, woo woo woo. Like so she be like, whatever he gives her, she like, I guess it's like some money for dude to do something. She like rip it up, she don't want it. Like she like, I don't need this, I don't want this. She like, she don't want to deal with him no more or whatever. Uh so like he leave, right? He leave. Now, the dude that she met in the like I'm gonna just call it the metaverse. The dude that she met in like the metaverse, he so mind you, his avatar is a boxer. So when he gets off the computer, bro, he only got one arm. His other arm is like his other arm is like fake. He has a fake arm. And basically like he's a slouch. He's like this big guy. So he don't work out, he don't do nothing else, like all he do is just sit in a computer. And so it's like that, all he do is sit in a computer. He's this big guy that just like he's this big round jolly guy that don't work out, just sit on the jump. He got one arm, his other arm is whatever the what you call it. It's just not a real, like it's not his biological arm. And so like that's him, right? But inside the thing, he's a boxer. So the guy that came to see the girl, like, so basically she kind of like brushed him off, rejected him. So that guy, I think his name was Jake, not Jake from State Farm. That guy goes to, what does he go to do? He goes to, oh, this is what he does. So he's like, what does he say? What does he say? Oh, he wants to have her meta thing, her meta avatar deleted, right? He wants to have her meta avatar deleted. So he wants to have a meta avatar deleted. So he goes to look for a virtual investigator or something like that. I think that's what he called it. He called it like a virtual investigator. So it just turns out that the person he goes to see, like the virtual investigator guy, is the virtual investigator guy is the big round guy with the one arm that that the girl was seeing in the metaverse. So remember, he's a boxer in the metaverse. That's his avatar's a boxer, but in real life he's just this blob of a guy that don't do this and the third, right? But the other Jake goes to see him to get her avatar deleted, and he was like, but the way he kick it to him is like, yeah, I was dating this girl, and she left me her avatar. She passed away. She left me this avatar, but now the avatar is rogue, and it be changing figures or whatever. So that's how he kick it to the other guy. But and mind you, the other guy don't know that who he looking for or whatever. So he was like, but I think she'd be in this area of like the metaverse. I'm just really gonna call it metaverse. He's like, she'd be in this area of the metaverse. That's all I know. So he was like, I want to get that avatar deleted because it's been causing me problems. So he like, all right. So they go into there, and when they go into there, the other guy, his avatar is a shark. So they get in there, and then when they go to the area, she sees the shark, and the shark has a gold tooth, like the other guy has a gold. Like, so in real life, the one guy, he got a gold tooth. So his shark avatar actually had a gold tooth. So she's seen that, and she's seen the shark and the boxer together. So her avatar, she can switch her avatar. So she switches her avatar to like something like just unattractive and distant than a third. And so she does that. And then but like, so they kind of like come up to her, and she was like, yeah, I don't know what y'all talking about, what y'all looking for, this and that third, boom, boom, boom. They go up to the little, now remember also in Alter Carbon, you have Poe, who's like the bartender. And Poe is the bartender on Alter Carbon. And so in this one, they actually do have a guy behind the bar little thing. He just reminds me of Poe. So what happens from here? So the shark and the boxer, first they go to her, but then they go to the bartender like, yo, you seen this avatar? It might shift, change figures. It might come in as this, the Asian thing, but it can shift figures. And so the bar guy's like, man, what I look like? Do it look like I pay attention? Do it look like I care? Right? And so, but then she like leaves, right? She like leaves, and then the shark and the boxer guy, and then they get into like, cause he was like, bro, why you ain't just at the third? Um, so I think does he figure it out? I forget how like this little next part works out, if like who figures it out. So, but they get into like this little altercation, kind of sorta. And so like uh both of them they jack out, and then Jake, what does Jake do? Jake he takes the program. So the virtual investigator guy, the blob of a guy who's a boxer, he he's a blob in real life, but he's a boxer avatar, which one? He had this like program, so like he was actually like a computer type of guy. So he actually created some of the code for the whole program. Like, so he has some other type of stuff, right? So he put some type of disk into the computer or whatever before they went looking for the girl, but he knew who he was looking for. So when they got out the program, the guy with the gold tooth, who was also bothering the girl in the beginning, he took the little disc out and was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do this myself." And mind you, the guy's like this blob. He's a big guy. He can't run. He's not in shape. And this and the third. So when the guy just takes the disc and leaves, the guy's like, "Oh snap!" So then all of them go back inside the program, right? All of them go back inside the program. So the guy, the boxer guy and the Asian girl, they liked each other in the metaverse digitally, but they just never met each other in real life, physically or whatever. And so when the guy goes back into the program, the boxer guy, who's like a blob in real life, the computer tech guy in real life, when he goes back into the program, the bartender was like, all right, yeah, so if you're looking for Shorty, she left you this. And so he had to like, there was like some password code thing behind it. And so she leaves him like this little digital message and was like, this and the third, I don't know why y'all was together, da da da, boo, boo, boo. But if you were serious about the other thing about like leaving like the physical body, then meet me over here. So they meet up, then they talk, and he kind of explained to her like, yo, he told me he was trying to get rid of this rogue avatar, but I didn't know that it was you that he was talking about trying to delete your avatar, whatever. But then the other guy, remember he took the program. So he took the program, he goes back into the joint, and then he finds both of them, and then like, cause you know it's digital, so like, you know, little certain stuff happens. So one thing, he kind of like, whatever, cause mind you, he took the disc that the other guy had made, so it's like, he had some other like capabilities and whatever. So he kind of like puts the other guy in like this little box type of thing. He puts the other guy in like this little box type of thing, the boxer guy. He puts him in a box. And then after he puts him in a box, he takes the girl, and the girl gets put on like this little machine or whatever. She gets like compressed into like a box, and put on a conveyor belt. And what's about to happen is like, it's gonna take her as a box and a conveyor belt, and it's gonna put her, and it was like the conveyor belt was taking people and dropping them off and deleting files. So she was about to get deleted. Now, the shark guy, the boxer guy, he says something, he had to do some little hyperspin thing. He gets out of the little cage, but then the shark and him actually go to like a boxing ring and like they have a fight. Now, the other thing was, like, mind you, they had to like put the headset on to get into the metaverse, but if anything happens to you, so you got like certain things kind of, and it does kind of make sense. So like, if the shark bites him, like that's a neural, that's a brain like type of whatchamacallit. So like if stuff happens, like they start to like, and in the real life they start to like, you know, like, so it's like, especially him being a boxer, like he would hit the shark, and so like, but that would hurt the guy actually in real life, Yeah, like whatever happens up here in the brain and then with the eyes, like that, it really has an effect on them in the real life. So if it like if you get hurt in the metaverse, like digitally, like that can actually cause like some pain, like because just as an aside, sometimes they talk about like your brain doesn't know the difference between like not real and real. So like when you think about certain stuff and you do certain stuff, like your brain be thinking like certain stuff is real or whatever. So like it just happened to affect, or like the whole thing with the dream, like the reason you always wake up before you pass away is because your brain can't conceptualize what happens afterwards. So it's just like you gotta wake up. So it's like your brain just can't know the difference between certain things. So it's like that type of thing, but it's having a real effect. Anyway, what happens from there? So like they have a whole little fight or whatever. But of course, the boxer guy ends up beating the shark. And then the boxer at the same time, when the lady her file is compressed and she's about to get deleted, of course, he grabs her, he saves her before she gets deleted. And he grabs her, saves her before she gets deleted. And what happens? What else did she say? So he has to decompress her file so that she comes back to like life or whatever. And then so he tells her, um, but remember that they had a conversation about how they could like be together for real in the metaverse or whatever. So basically when basically something happened, he had to say something about some little run this program, da 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 boom 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 before they like because he had called her right before she fell into the thing, and then they end up both kind of like falling into the whatever, and he had said that or whatever. uh so just then it's like coming towards the end of the show. So in the real world, the guy, the shark guy, his name was Jake. All he wanted was her body. So when he gets out the program, he goes to her, he goes back to her place, and he was like, I did it, right? Like he felt like he completed his mission, and this is where I say like he really just wanted her body. Like he started touching her and this and the third, but when he touched her, her whole body just like like disintegrated, basically, kind of almost, right? So there was that. Then um, there was that. So then I gotta okay. There was that. But just to wrap this up, basically, um, the guy, the computer nerd guy, who's a blob in real life, but who's a boxer and whatchamacallit, he did basically get it so that their files downloaded like to the metaverse, so they would live forever digitally. They live forever digitally together. So the boxer and the Asian, they got together like digitally forever, but they never met. Like had to be physical. Like they just left their physical bodies and stayed digital. And so basically his program worked. But it had an interesting thing. Again, there's like I mentioned a lot of shows that kind of like reminisces to, but remember that show came out. This show came out in 1997, so it's only 6 episodes. I might go ahead and watch some of the other ones, but this is Spice City episode